Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel. My name is Liz and I'm a reseller in Maryland. Today's video is pretty exciting and a little bit different. We had the opportunity to go into an abandoned estate just hours before the wrecking crew came through and trashed everything. Let's go check out what I found. You will not believe some of the Victorian treasure that awaits. Let's go check it out. So they are gonna demo this house tomorrow and they're gonna throw away all the stuff. So I started making a box because some of these old books have some value, or they don't deserve to be in the landfill. Even if they're not gonna make someone a lot of money, they don't need to be thrown away. Someone can read them, enjoy them, maybe they can craft with them. But it's better than taking up space in the landfill. So the only bad news is I now have to go through all this stuff. Well, I don't have to. I'm choosing to go through this stuff to serve all those purposes, save space in landfill, give things to people that they can use or enjoy. Maybe I'll get paid for my time. I'll be back with updates. So most of the house was empty. There was some amateur art. But this attic type area had tons of books and papers. World War II letters. I can show you guys some of that. Bills from like 1930, 1940, even some early 1900 stuff. And people are interested in some of that stuff. When you have fuel ration stamps or cards, we can't relate to that at this point. So I wanted to save that stuff. And I'm not the only one who's interested in it, but it's a lot of books to go through. Some of them are too damaged to save. Some are like textbooks, which most people really don't want. But I get a little bit obsessed with trying to save what I can. Somebody needs a giant mirror, and there are two up here. But the demo crew comes pretty soon, and I'm just going to save what I can. Updates to come. This place is full on 70s. Look at this tile. What? It's amazing and horrible at the same time. So they have all this rustic furniture that's gonna just basically go to the dump. And the person who lived here must have been an avid painter, and not bad, but I just don't know how sellable her work is. I did save some pieces. Here's one of the bedrooms. It's kind of weird. It feels like someone just left, But I think the family has been gone since 2018. Now this mid-century modern furniture, that hurts me. But I don't have the muscular or skeletal structure to manage to move that. This one matches it, but it's been really damaged. I think they must have left the window open. Or these plants, like the pot exploded. I don't even know what to say about that. Maybe someone took the flower pot. Just saving as much as I can. More amazing tile. I just can't believe that whoever inherited the property didn't want some of the stuff. I did pull some paintings out already. Some of these kind of rustic paintings that she did. So one of the neighbors just came down, a very nice woman named Nancy, and she said that the paintings were done by the relative who lived next door to this house. This woman's name was Eddora, Eddora, which is such an unusual name. And I guess she never had children and never married. Her fiance was killed in the war, maybe? I don't know if that timeline works out, but that was the story that she was telling me. And so there was no one to inherit, or maybe not someone close enough to want the level of history that Adora left behind when she passed away in 2023, I believe is what she said. So the neighbor, you can hear them moving around upstairs, is taking this beautiful piece of mid-century modern furniture. I'll put a picture in. So I'm really glad because I hate to see things go to waste. Look at this frame. This frame is amazing. I wish I liked the artwork a little bit more. I guess I could just take the frame. Maybe I should. Update soon. So I was able to salvage a bunch of ephemera. That's basically like paper. I kind of think of it as like the papers that reflect history, but it's not necessarily that. I just wanted to show you a fraction of it to give you an idea of why I salvage it and what types of things I found, because I think it's very interesting. So there were a lot of letters. Some of these were letters from, I believe, the nephew of these recipients. And these letters were when he was still in the United States. There may be letters from other people too, it looks like, yeah. A couple of soldiers anyway. And it's very interesting to hear the account of what the daily life was like for a soldier. The things that were meaningful to them, like, cigarettes, or just things that we take for granted. Cigarettes might be a bad example nowadays, but back then, a comb. There are things that he's requesting or thanking them for, and they're sending these things to him. One thing that he said in one of the letters, and I have not read them all, was that he'd been asked to mix some mortar. And apparently in this family, there were some masons. And he didn't think of it as work or difficult, he said. And he kind of implied that he was used to doing it, maybe because there was a mason in the family. I thought that was kind of cool. These letters I've not read yet either, but I believe these are older and to a different person. I'm not sure what her connection was. We don't have any surviving members of the family to return these to or ask about. I'm not sure exactly who took possession of the house, but we didn't have anyone to ask about that. But again, just giving a snapshot of what life was like back then. This was, I think, earlier in the 1900s, than World War II, that is. And so I just learned about this. For some reason, I've never seen V-mail before. I guess this started in 1942 to make it faster, easier, and more like space efficient to correspond with soldiers abroad. So because these are so little, it made it a lot easier, less bulky than a full-size envelope, and more uniform. And I guess somehow they would like photocopy. I'm not sure of the actual technology they used, but to streamline the mail service anyway. So I like that it's called V-mail. It's pretty cool. It's for victory because, that's what we were looking for. These are like memoriam cards, sort of like related to memento mori type stuff. These are from when a person had passed away. And these are very collectible, and people like to display cabinet cards like these. Sometimes there would be a photograph, I guess. I have never owned either of these before, so I'm not sure what their value is. If I find one to show you, I'll insert a comp so you can kind of see. As far as the correspondence goes, let me know if you think it would be wrong to sell that. I just want to know your opinion. I don't think it's wrong if a collector out there is looking for it and it was going to go in a dumpster anyway. But if you do feel that it's wrong, some people do donate these things because they may have information that's important to history. I like to save that stuff. This is pretty collectible. This is transportation related. It's railway, and these are rules and regulations. So that's a sellable piece that was also salvaged. There was a lot more stuff that I had to go through. And it was pounds and pounds. But I decided to do it. It felt worth it. And, some people were like, oh, are you going to make a lot of money? And probably not. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going through it to see what I thought needed to be saved. So I will show you what comes next. I have another box to go through. So I found this really cool magazine. I don't know, is it called the Cosmopolitan? I'm not sure. This thing is beyond farm fresh. I don't think fresh is a word I would use to describe it. That might actually be a dead bug. Oh no, it's just part of the binding. Anyway, I do sometimes save these kinds of things. I'm thinking maybe turn of the century. I haven't investigated it. I just, look at this, someone was chewing on that. But some of the cartoons and the imagery, sometimes the ads can be very interesting and people can use them for crafting. I don't really like to throw things away. Not that I like to keep, old pizza boxes or anything, but when I see stuff like this, these really interesting ads and everything, I like to try to keep those and see if someone else might be able to use them. So not a lot of value in my opinion, but could be used and maybe worth saving from the dumpster. Let me know what you think in the comments. So I am still plugging away at some of these books that I pulled out of this attic, out of this abandoned estate. The majority of the books are going to be $5 to $10 in the booth, but I probably have about 20 of those. And then I have a handful that are worth more, like 30 to 50, and a few that I wasn't able to find the exact copy. So this one's not in perfect shape, but Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. That's a pretty good title. I only found one image of this book that matched this, and I couldn't find a value. And you never know what book is going to bring a lot of money. I recently had a rare cookbook bring over $300. So I'm pretty thorough when I go through books. Some of these books are very interesting titles. If I don't list them online because of condition, because condition's so important for books, and these are a little bit rough, then they will sell well in the booth for more than the $5 to $10 pieces. Another couple of things I wanted to point out about what I had here. Something that we might find sort of cringy. This one's not worth a lot, but this is a little bit cringy. It's dated. That can be a good thing. In this case, it isn't, but I just wanted to point that out. And the other thing is, sorry, hold on. Some of these golden guides can go for really good money. This one's, the prices are all over the map, but I'm not going to include it as a very expensive one, but keep an eye out for these because they are solid sellers and you can lot them up and sell them online. What else do I want to show you? Like classic titles, you want to look for those. Again, condition is a bit of an issue for some of these books. People who are really into the railroad, a book like that is awesome to have. So I wanted to point that out. In addition, over here, sometimes, now I don't have this piece of luggage, but if you were like, I don't know, like a luggage collector, or you did sell luggage, you would love to have the original tag. Maybe I'm just acting like a hoarder. I don't know. I'm going to stick it in the booth and see what happens. I don't think it's worth enough to put online. Old catalogs, people do like stuff like that. Medical stuff, not to use for medical grade, right? But like the tins and stuff like that. This one, of course, I can't believe this. It's new old stock. The actual Band-Aids from like 1980 are in here. That's pretty expensive for Band-Aids though. In 1980, that's crazy. $1.98. Anyway, stuff like that is very collectible. The tins routinely sell for me between $10 and $20. So stuff to look for. I guess this is a part of a cigar box or like a humidor, maybe in a store. Maybe you guys can tell me. I could not find this exact thing, but I still think it would be cool to put in the booth or maybe to mount on a wall. You guys have any good ideas? Leave me a comment for what you would do with this. I think it's really cool looking. And then this has some value. This was in the original box and basically has never been taken out. These are like the first issue stamps, I guess, and you get like a postcard. It's commemorative. It's still in the original box, so if that's not new old stock or mint condition, I don't know what is. So I had to go through this little segment of stuff because I need to move on to the next box. Be right back. So I am inserting a little clip before I get started on the full table because I forgot to show you these like crystal dangles. These are very collectible and desirable. People need them to replace ones that have gotten broken. They might use them for crafting. I have a whole huge, probably about 5 pounds of these that I'm cleaning right now, but I wanted to show you a few of them, and I'll insert a screenshot of a comp for you. Okay, so I think this is our last installment from this abandoned estate. One thing you'll see on this side of the table is some amateur art. I think there were a couple of different artists affiliated with this family in the house, which sort of felt like a 70s ski lodge, had a lot of this rustic art, like good amateur art. So like certainly sweet scenes. The squirrel's pretty well done. This one's a little bit less professional, I guess, but I did save a few pieces because I thought they were sweet, but there were so many and they were big and they were nailed to the wall. I couldn't save them all. If they don't sell, then we at least tried to save them. So I just wanted to show you a sampling of that. I believe this is a cypress knee. It's kind of like a burl, and people like these as like sculpture. They almost look like stone because they're very smooth, but it's called a cypress knee, and they were kind of popular in the 60s and 70s for decor. Kind of trippy, you know. I got two of these. I think these are cast iron. I guess it's the top of a post, maybe at a gate. I mean, it's farm fresh. I got two of these. People really like garden art and like true antique concrete statues and things like that. So I think maybe someone will want these. I don't know if someone will actually upcycle them, but they might want them to display on either side of their porch stairs or something. That's where I had them. They're not staying there, but that's where I had them. Some tins do well. I've never seen this actual tin before, but this company is pretty well known. Now, I don't do that great with this, is it Daher? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but, or Daher, this decorated ware stuff, but the tin was in pretty good shape, and I figured I'd just give it a shot. I'd give it a shot and see if I could save it. There were some more sort of like mementos, sort of personal history type things, and I kind of have a weakness for that stuff. I don't know, maybe because I'm sentimental and nostalgic by nature. And so I salvaged some of that. These flower pots, I really like this one. I'm going to have to keep this one for myself. They don't deserve to go in the trash. Do you know how much you pay for a hand glazed pot at like Home Depot? I don't know, because I just recently learned how to take care of plants. But anyway, use your imagination. If you ever see these boxes, the boxes themselves are not valuable, but people use them to contain their valuables. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. But when I went inside this little bag, this is like a little personal sewing kit. Now, I don't think I can keep this because it's got some water damage, but I wanted to show it to you. It has some of her supplies for her embroidery in it. So cool. Like a time capsule. I don't know what I'll be able to salvage out of there, but I figure I'll give myself time to decide what to salvage, what I think I can rehome, regardless of how that happens. I'm a little bit obsessed with keys. And you can sell keys for like some of the vintage suitcases all by themselves. This is kind of cool because it has like a stone fish, like a keychain or a fob. Does anyone know what this key is for? Is this like a safe deposit box or something? Box number 20. Is someone looking for that key? No, because there's no family we could follow up with. Very strange situation. That does happen. This person never married and never had children, so I'm not sure how it all worked out. The family, or not the family, whoever inherited it did take some stuff and then they just left the rest. So I am mildly obsessed also with these patches and iron-on things. I just think they're really cool and fun. And some of these are definitely vintage. 1982 World's Fair. Look at this one's new old stock. So I will look those up separately. I might look this one up and see if that has value to a collector before I decide if I'm going to put some on my own denim jacket or not. The little Nativity was worth about $25 on Etsy, so I just decided that I would save it. There were some other religious items. I didn't save them all because my husband probably would have protested. He was actually a really good sport, so thanks for that, Joe. There's no powder in here, so don't worry. And there's Wesley. Hey, West! He's a Brittany. Someone was asking me about him, so I figured I'd give you a shot of him. He's not used to being on film. But I thought that this powder jar, canister, I don't know what we call it, shaker, was kind of cool, and I do sell things like that in my booth. Now, I look up almost everything before I price it. It takes a long time, but who the heck knows? I mean, sometimes stuff like that can have more value than you realize. Another first for me is this little baking soda penguin that you put in your refrigerator or icebox. Soda Sam, this one's called. He needs to be cleaned up, but he's super cute. And I was surprised by the comp on him. We'll come back to this little basket. This I grabbed because it was like new old stock, black forest smock pattern. Not a lot of value. Maybe someone will buy it, and if they don't, I can donate it or give it away for free on Facebook. There are buy nothing groups all over the world, people who like take this stuff. There was a lot of photography stuff, and this is still sealed. I don't know if that matters or not, but I couldn't help myself. So this basket, I think I did open it when I was in the attic, and I love sewing boxes, and I just said, oh, it's a sewing box, I'm gonna keep it. This actually escaped, but I didn't expect to find this necklace, and I do believe this is glass. I don't know if this is like mourning jewelry or not. I'm not that good with beads, so if you know how to tell, let me know. I don't think there's a clasp. Is that a clue? I don't know how old that is, but when I show you what else is in here, maybe you can make some guesses. I don't know why we had to have 2 mirrors in the sewing box, but I like these needle books. You know, again, like almost like a time capsule to me. Now, she sewed a lot because there are not that many needles in there, but I don't think I've had that one. I like vintage advertising. This one's pretty cute too. I guess you got these a lot at stores. They sold their own brand, and some people they kept them forever. There's the other mirror. More needles. Someone was having fun with this. It looks like real, I guess because it is real wool. And so I get in here and I'm like, oh wow, some of this stuff is old, right? This is for darning socks, maybe other things. I'm not that good at sewing. I haven't even checked to see if you can open it. No, I guess you can't. Some of them have a space inside for needles. And there are other things in here I don't know. I hope. This is acrylic and not real tortoiseshell. I do not believe you're allowed to sell real tortoiseshell, so I would keep that if I found out it is real tortoiseshell. So there's like a mixed bag or basket of stuff. Check your thimbles. Sometimes they're sterling or gold. This one is brass. But this old pincushion is a trip. I love it. I love it. But this box caught my eye, and I don't think it will come through on the film because it barely comes through with the naked eye. But this is like a carved box, or maybe it's pyrography. I can't tell. And I think it has like a woman's profile. So I was like, oh, what's in here? And I start looking in here, and I wish I had been filming because I was like, what the heck is this? Look at this fantastic brooch. Last night, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. This is Norwegian. I'm going to stab myself with it. Oh, let me just show you something. See how the pin extends beyond like the clasp? That's a sign that you have an older piece. I want to say like older than 1920, but I am not that much of an expert. So if I find out something different, I'll put it on the screen, or you can correct me in the comments, but it means you have an older piece. I guess people learned later in the 1900s not to do that because I just stabbed myself with it. But I didn't see any markings for the metal content, but the one that I found online, which I'll insert a screenshot for, has some good value and says it's 800 silver, meaning 80% pure silver, not 92.5% like sterling. There are some old coins in here, like Victorian era coins. There's a tin type. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I swoon over. See how I use that word? Beautiful. I guess these are cufflinks are these buttons? Someone help me. I'm sure I could use Google Lens, but I know you guys want to help me with this stuff. This is a very interesting one too. The other thing I can probably show you is see how the clasp is like a letter C? I'll turn it like this. That's another sign you have an older piece. They stopped using that because I guess it's probably not as secure as some. Skeleton keys, coins. There's a little enameled piece in here. I don't know if that's, I want to say it's a cufflink, but I don't think that is. Maybe a fraternity, a fraternal order of some type, and some coins. The coins are not in great shape. There are a few little earrings that I think might be gold. I'm not sure, but how excited was I to realize that I had saved that from the dumpster today. That dumpster is probably full with everything that was left. But luckily I was able to salvage some collectible and usable pieces. Some of them are just darling, sweet, valuable. interesting to collectors. I mean, I'm really happy. So thanks for joining me on this little adventure. It was a little bit different. I had to film in stages, so hopefully that will be agreeable to you guys. And I always am so happy to have you here at the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you get out there and salvage some amazing treasures yourself soon. I hope that you get paid well for the time you put in doing that. And I always hope that you never stop searching. I will see you guys next time.